This is a quick demonstration of how to display and keep up to date with the latest Northern Colorado IMRG chapter events and rides in your personal device, mobile, PC, or Mac calendar. For this demonstration, I'm going to be demonstrating how to subscribe to our chapter calendar using my iPhone, but the steps I'm going to show you will work whether you're using an iPhone, an Android device, a PC, or a Mac. They'll also work the same whether you're using Google Chrome as your browser, Microsoft Edge, Microsoft Internet Explorer, or Apple Safari. So the first thing you want to do is open up your browser of choice. In this case, I'm going to use Google Chrome because that's my preferred web browser on my iPhone. I'm going to open that up. I'm going to navigate to our chapter's website, NoCo IMRG.org. Hopefully you've had an opportunity to visit our chapter website. It's going to possibly look a little different than what you're used to seeing on your PC or Mac because I'm on a mobile device, and so I'm seeing the mobile device view of our website, but the navigation is exactly the same. If you look towards the top of your screen, you'll see a menu bar. In this case, I'm going to click on the hamburger menu. You may not need to do this if you're on a PC or Mac, but what you're going to want to do is open up the menu and find events, and then look below events and find events calendar, and then click on events calendar. You'll know you're on the right page when you scroll down and you actually see a calendar view. And then if you'll keep on scrolling past the calendar on that page, you're going to see a button that says subscribe to calendar in view. And this is a drop down button. Go ahead and click once on that button. And what you're going to see, there are a few choices. These choices relate to whichever calendar you might be using on your device or devices if you use multiple devices. And you can have multiple subscriptions if you use different calendars on different devices. In my case, I use Google Calendar on all of my devices. So I'm going to choose Google Calendar, but you'll see below Google Calendar, Apple iCalendar if you use Apple iCal for your preferred calendar, Microsoft Outlook, and various other options. But if you want to have a live subscription, go ahead and click on your calendar of choice. Again, I'm going to demonstrate using Google Calendar, but the process and steps are the same on Outlook and iCal. What's going to happen is Google Calendar is going to open in my web browser. Now everything looks very small and tiny. Normally I use the Google Calendar app on my phone. I don't go to the web browser and then go to the Google Calendar. But what I need to do is confirm that I've subscribed to the Northern Colorado IMRG calendar first before I can use it in my calendar app. And that's what's happening here. The fonts are very small, but what you're going to see is your calendar in the background kind of faded out. And then in the middle of your screen, you're going to see a dialog that's simply saying add calendar, and the default option in the lower right, you see the button in blue says add. What you're doing here again is confirming that you want to be able to view our chapter calendar with your other calendar items. Now, I will tell you, don't be afraid. It's not going to actually combine our calendars data with your calendar. It'll create a separate calendar that you can hide or unhide or unsubscribe from later so that that data doesn't become commingled with your family events. And I'll show you how to do that. But for now, go ahead and click add to confirm that you do want to subscribe to that calendar. And again, we don't want to look at the calendar in the web browser, so I'm just going to close my web browser. And then I'm going to find Google Calendar. I use the Google Calendar app on my iPhone, and I'm going to open my app. Now again, depending on what calendar you use, what default view you use, your screen might look a little different. If I use the hamburger menu in the upper left-hand corner of the screen, your calendar might be in schedule view. You might look at everything in month view. You might have everything defaulting to day view. But what I want you to see here is, and I'm going to switch back to month view just to make things easier to spot. That's my calendar without any NoCo IMRG events added. And so again, if I open up my menu, I think the menu is open by default in Google Calendar if you're on a PC or a Mac. So you just look at the left-hand bar. But on an iPhone or an Android, you need to open the menu. And then you're going to see in about the middle of the screen, you see my profile there. There's my email if you want to email me with questions. Um, you're going to see a list of calendars that you can turn on and off and display with your calendar view. And so in my case, if I click that show more button right in the middle of the screen, aha, there's the Northern Colorado IMRG calendar for that I've subscribed to. And all I need to do to be able to see Northern Colorado IMRG events and the latest events, because it does stay in sync with our chapter's calendar on our website, is just click to turn that on. And if you saw there, now all the Northern Colorado IMRG events light up in my calendar. I can see them. I can actually click into them and get the details about the events. These details do change sometimes as we get closer to the event, so we always encourage you to check the details for the latest times and events, a few days or even the day before a particular event to make sure that everything is still the same. But all that information is now going to be in your personal calendar and easy for you to view. Now, if you have a lot going on in your calendar, my personal calendar doesn't have a lot going on because I use Outlook for my work calendar, and that's the busy one. But if I don't want to see these events, all I have to do is open up the menu again, find Northern Colorado IMRG, uncheck that to turn it off. And if for any reason I would ever want to unsubscribe to that calendar, all I have to do is go into the settings of my calendar. If you go into the settings, and this will vary a little bit depending on whether you're using Outlook or iCal or Google Calendar, all you have to do is go in and basically unsubscribe from that calendar. And you would do that within your calendar app, not from the NoCo IMRG website. Turning those events back on. Hopefully this has helped you to better understand how to see our events and get the latest information easily. Hopefully it'll save you from always having to get the latest printed version of our calendar. And we look forward to seeing you at our next chapter event, Ride, Seek, and Explore.